What's up guys, Teddy Striker here, and I first want to start by saying this was not the video scheduled for today. I'm currently recording this on Tuesday because I just saw that Dana White announced that Charles Oliveira pulled out of the Islam Makhachev fight, and Volk is stepping up on 2 weeks notice to fight Islam. I mean, this is crazy because Charles Oliveira, first of all, what happened? Like he got injured in his camp or something like that. That, I don't know, that just sucks. I wanted to see that rematch. It would have been a great fight. But now, Volkanovski, I wanted Volkanovski to get his rematch against Islam, but he was scheduled to fight Ilia Topuria. And this is why I recorded this gameplay. I was about to make a Volkanovski video talking about him versus Ilia Topuria, and that was going to come out next week. But apparently, first of all, Mateus Gamera was supposed to be the backup. I don't know why they didn't call Gamera. Maybe he's not ready, but he's the backup, so that makes it very weird. They didn't call Justin Gaethje, which in my opinion is the number one contender, and I don't know why he wasn't the backup for that fight. But now you got Volkanovski, who's already scheduled to fight Ilia Topuria in January. But now I think that Sean O'Malley is probably going to fight Chito in January, and that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen, because there's no way Volkanovski is going to fight Islam Makhachev in October and then fight Ilia Topuria right away in January. That would be setting him up for failure. But this is also kind of setting him up for failure because, first of all, the first time he trained for Islam, he had to bulk up to, be strong enough for 145 pounds. He had to go through a grueling wrestling camp, which, now it's he barely has a training camp, and he was recovering from his hand injury to take on Islam Makhachev in a rematch, and Islam hasn't fought since their first fight. So, it's just a crazy turn of events. I hope that this fight will, mark the wrong that happened in the first fight. It was a very close fight. I did say in a later video that I thought Islam won rewatching, but, I hope that Volkanovski can get it done this time. I predicted that Volkanovski would win the first fight. He didn't. And this time, I think I'm going to have to lean towards Islam because Islam has been in a training camp. This is, screwed up that Oliveira pulled out. I don't want to, trash him for that. But, this sucks. This close out to the fight. And why are they calling on Volkanovski to take this fight? They had Gamera or Gaethje. That just makes no sense to me. They should have been more prepared. And not only that, but Paulo Costa, he's going to pull out. He's lame. But he actually has an injury this time. The last two fights, he didn't have an injury. For the Ikram Meskarov fight, he didn't have an injury. He just pulled out. For the Whitaker fight, he didn't have an injury. He just pulled out. Now he's going to pull out this Khamzat fight. I hope they have a good replacement to take on Khamzat, because I can guarantee you, I say wallahi, Paulo Costa is going to pull out that fight. But either way, going back on this fight, Islam versus Volk 2. Islam, he has had that training camp. Khabib is not going to be in his corner again, though. So who knows how that's going to play out. But he's been training this whole time, getting better. While Volk, I don't know if he was training. I saw a video, the Stylebender video of him, hanging out with Mark Zuckerberg. But that could have been, filmed a while ago. I think it was filmed a while ago, because I remember they made a post on Instagram, or, it was in July or something. It was before Izzy lost to Strickland, so it wasn't that recent. But the thing is that's kind of giving me hope for Volk is his confidence is going to be higher. I think in this fight, Volk is going to have the confidence edge. In the first fight, I think Islam had that edge. But now that Volk knows that, he's not going to get obliterated in one round, he's going to go out there, trying to impose his will a bit more. And he's going to respect Islam's striking as well. Now he knows he's got the technique down. He might not have to put on that much strength and size, because he's already like been through it and he knows. Like Volk even said himself that apparently Islam didn't feel as strong as he thought. Like he thought Islam was gonna be this, juggernaut. Like, but he wasn't. And Volk saw that he was like just a regular guy. So I don't think Volkanovski is gonna have to worry about the weight that much. And since that first fight, his grappling has improved. We've seen it in the Yair Rodriguez fight. He had a grappling approach. So you can just assume that his grappling is just getting better and better. But the thing is, now he's gonna have to, like, kind of get that memory refresh on what he did the first time and, like, kind of reread his notes. Essentially, he had an A- on his first test against Islam. Now he's gonna have to reread those notes so he can get an A and A plus, so he can get that victory. But the thing about Volk is his cardio is always so good, and that comes from his grueling training camp. And he's not really a guy that is gonna knock you out with one or two shots. Like he was knocking people out like back in the day, in his lightweight days, but he hasn't really done that. Actually, he did rock Yair Rodriguez pretty bad with a clean right hand. But is his cardio really gonna be up there? Like this is gonna be a tough, grueling fight. Islam's gonna be in shape. Is Volk gonna come in shape? That's the worrying part about this fight for me. Like the cardio part. Like I think, like now that I'm starting to think about it, I think he'll have a pretty good time with the grappling. He has to respect Islam's striking this time. He really does. Islam is obviously going to be prepared for a well-rounded fighter because he was training for Charles Oliveira, and Islam's been working on his striking because he's once again been saying that he wants to knock out Charles Oliveira. He said, like, against Volk, he wanted to knock him out, and we saw that his striking looked much better. He's saying now against Charles Oliveira that he wanted to knock him out, and given the previous history of him saying that, we know that his striking is going to evolve, so Volk has to respect that striking. But my question is, what happens at featherweight now? Are they going to make yet another interim title fight maybe at the end of this year? Like, what's going to happen at lightweight too? Like, because Islam, like, I made a video about Islam. I'm going to talk about Islam later on, but Islam wanted to go up to 170 pounds after he, like, in his mind, would have been Charles Oliveira. After that fight, he would have wanted to go to 170 pounds and challenge for the belt. But now, like, is he gonna have to go through Oliveira and then go to 170 pounds? I don't know. But now, like, if Islam does beat Volk, he's gonna have to fight Charles Oliveira in the United States, not in Abu Dhabi. Maybe that was Oliveira's plan all along, because he did not seem like he really wanted to go there. But maybe Oliveira was really injured. It's just going to be, like, weird what happens after this fight. Like, it seems like both divisions are going to be getting slowed down a bit. Like, it's just weird. It sucks because we had a clear picture of what was going to happen, but now we're rushing this rematch. Like, in my mind, what I would have loved to see is Oliveira versus Islam. I was going to predict Islam to beat Oliveira again, even though I'm a huge Oliveira fan, and I picked Oliveira in the first fight. I thought that Islam was going to beat him again in a much tougher fight. And then I thought that Volk was going to beat Ilia Topuria. And then, like, somewhere in the middle next year, or maybe in Abu Dhabi, you do the rematch. But, this is a weird turn of events. Like, we're getting two of those fights, like Islam versus Volk, back to back. For Islam, from Islam's point of view, in the same calendar year. And I just think that this just benefits Islam. Like, this really works in Islam's favor. These are both top pound-for-pound fighters, and they need to fight each other when they're both at their best. And I don't think that Volkanovski is going to be at his best. This really sucks. Like, I don't know if Charles Oliveira faked an injury or not, but man, like, this really sucks. And in my opinion, like, this just sucks. Like, it sucks for Volk. I feel like he's going to lose, but I really hope that this time he can get it done.